Hello everyone, welcome back to Agriculture Insight. Did you know that the US produces a staggering 14 billion pounds of cheese every year? That's an enormous amount, reflecting the irresistible charm of this soft gold in Western cuisine. From the stringy cheese on pizza, the rich creaminess in burgers, to the sophisticated flavors of aged cheese, cheese is the heart and soul of countless dishes. Behind every fragrant slice of cheese is a remarkable journey. From fresh, raw milk, transformed with the help of machines and the skilled hands of people, into a culinary masterpiece, smooth, aromatic, and melting in your mouth. Today, let's dive into the most advanced cheese factories and explore what makes this food so irresistibly addictive to billions of people around the world. The United States leads the world in cheese production, making up about 25% of the global supply. At the heart of this is Wisconsin, aptly called the cheese state, where an astounding 3.5 billion pounds of cheese are produced each year. Cheese is more than just a beloved food. It's a vital part of the U.S. economy, contributing over $64 billion annually and driving growth in the dairy industry. With a rich history and an endless variety, cheese comes in hundreds of different forms, yet the process remains the same. Milk is processed, curdled, whey is separated, the cheese is pressed, salted, aged, and then packaged. Each step plays a crucial role in shaping the flavor, texture, and overall quality of the finished product. In the US, cheddar cheese is one of the most popular and widely produced types of cheese, accounting for nearly 30% of the country's total cheese production. In advanced production facilities, every step of the process is a crucial link, where humans and machines work in harmony to create smooth, golden blocks of cheese with a rich, perfect flavor. The journey to creating these smooth, golden cheddar blocks begins on lush green farms, where healthy cows are raised under strict conditions to produce high-quality fresh milk. Skilled farmers, supported by modern milking machines, carefully harvest every drop of pristine milk, preserving its natural flavor and freshness. After being carefully selected, the milk enters the pasteurization stage, a precise process designed to eliminate harmful bacteria while preserving its natural flavor. In large processing tanks, the milk is quickly heated to about 161.6 Fahrenheit for a few seconds, then immediately cooled down. The machinery operates with pinpoint accuracy down to the millisecond, but it is the human supervisors who ensure that no mistakes occur. To create the signature flavor of cheddar cheese, lactic bacteria are added to the milk. These beneficial bacteria help ferment the milk and thicken it into a more solid form. At the same time, a small amount of annatto, a natural colorant extracted from the seeds of the achiote tree, may be added to give cheddar its distinctive orange hue. When the enzyme rennet is introduced, the milk begins to coagulate into curds. With the help of robotic arms stirring the mixture, the curd is cut into uniform pieces using special cutting grids, allowing the whey to drain more efficiently. Unlike many other cheeses, cheddar undergoes a unique process known as cheddaring, which helps create its firm, elastic texture and characteristic bounce. After separating the whey, large blocks of curd are stacked on top of each other to allow gravity to press out excess moisture. But the process doesn't stop there. The curd is continuously flipped, folded, and pressed in cycles, tightening the protein structure. Initially soft and crumbly, the curd becomes firmer with each turn while still retaining its ideal elasticity. In industrial production, salt may be applied either before or after the curd is broken into smaller pieces, depending on the technology used by the factory. In some places, salt is sprinkled directly onto the curd strips right after the cheddaring process, then sent through a large funnel machine to break the curd into smaller pieces. This method allows the salt to evenly permeate each piece of curd during the cutting process, eliminating the need for additional mixing afterward. Alternatively, some factories opt to break the curd first, then add salt and mix it thoroughly to ensure optimal absorption. Regardless of the method, the main goal is to use the salt to control moisture, aid in fermentation, enhance the flavor, and extend the shelf life of the cheddar cheese. While the science of making cheddar cheese is essential, the aging process is truly an art. After being pressed into molds, the blocks of cheddar are placed in aging rooms where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled. Here, enzymes and bacteria continue to work, breaking down proteins and fats to develop the cheese's distinct flavor. The aging period can range from a few months to over 10 years, and it ultimately determines the flavor and texture of the cheese. Young cheddar, 3 to 6 months, has a mild, creamy taste and smooth texture. Aged cheddar, 2 to 10 years, becomes firmer, crumblier, with a rich, sharp flavor that may have a bit of spiciness and a long-lasting finish. The glistening tyrosine crystals on the surface are a sign of a perfectly aged cheddar. In modern factories, once the cheddar has fully aged, it is packaged entirely by automated systems to ensure quality and extend shelf life. Large blocks of cheese are cut into smaller portions using industrial machines, sliced or shredded based on market demand. The cheese then moves to the automated packaging line, where machines perform vacuum sealing, wrap it in plastic, or coat it with wax to prevent moisture loss and protect it from bacteria. Finally, the product is labeled, quality checked, and sent to cold storage before being distributed to the market. Alongside modernly packaged cheddar, Parmesan stands as one of the world's most beloved cheeses, particularly in the US and Europe. Officially known as Parmigiano Reggiano, Parmesan is not only famous but also crowned the king of cheeses for its rich flavor, firm texture, and impressive aging ability. Compared to cheddar or mozzarella, this cheese undergoes a more stringent production process and a much longer aging period, resulting in a distinct difference in both taste and texture. One of the standout features of Parmesan is its production in copper vats, something rare in today's cheesemaking world. Most modern factories have switched to using stainless steel vats, as they're easier to clean and maintain. However, traditional cheesemakers still swear by copper, as it better conducts heat, allowing the milk curdling process to occur more efficiently and contributing to the complex flavor development during the aging phase. This is what gives Parmesan its signature, crisp, crumbly texture. The curdling process of Parmesan is similar to that of cheddar. However, instead of using an automatic curd cutter, traditional cheesemakers rely on the spino, a long stirring stick with a fan-shaped blade, to cut the curd into uniform small grains, helping to remove the whey more efficiently. In large-scale production, the spino is often replaced by an automated stirring machine with stainless steel blades, speeding up the process and ensuring consistency across batches. Nevertheless, cutting curd with the spino results in grains that aren't perfectly uniform, contributing to the distinctive crumbly texture of Parmesan. Once the curd has fully set, it sinks to the bottom of the vat, where it's collected using linen cloth, pressed into a large block, placed into round molds, and gradually pressed to remove any remaining whey in preparation for the salt bath. A significant difference between Parmesan and cheddar lies in the salting process. While cheddar uses dry salt, which is sprinkled directly onto the curd after the cheddaring process to control moisture and flavor, Parmesan is fully immersed in a saltwater bath. This process lasts from 18 to 25 days, depending on the size of the cheese wheel. The salt bath allows Parmesan to gradually absorb the salt, develop a natural hard rind and contribute to the signature crumbly texture that defines the cheese as it continues to age. After the salt bath, the Parmesan wheels are left to dry naturally before entering the aging phase. Another distinctive feature of Parmesan is that each cheese wheel is stamped with the words Parmigiano Reggiano, along with the factory's registration number, allowing for traceability and ensuring quality. This is rare among mass-produced cheeses, which typically just get packaged without any special identifying marks. In large-scale factories, the cheese pressing process is often automated, instead of relying on gravity and the lengthy process used in traditional methods. While this boosts production efficiency, it can affect the natural firmness of handcrafted Parmesan. Parmesan is aged for a minimum of 12 months, with many cheese wheels maturing for up to 60 months. The longer the aging, the more intense the flavor becomes, developing complex notes of butter, hazelnut, light caramel, and sometimes even a rich umami flavor. Compared to other popular cheeses, Parmesan has a much longer aging process, which helps create its signature crumbly texture and exceptional storage ability. Notably, during aging, Parmesan develops tyrosine crystals, giving it a light crunch when you bite into it, something few other cheeses can boast. Another highly consumed cheese in the US is mozzarella, renowned for its soft, stretchy texture and excellent meltability. Thanks to its smooth melting ability and mild flavor, mozzarella is the top choice for many dishes, especially pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and salads. Unlike harder cheeses like Cheddar or Parmesan, mozzarella doesn't undergo a lengthy aging process. Instead, it is used fresh, preserving its high moisture content and characteristic elastic texture. One of the most important steps in creating mozzarella's signature texture is the pasta filata process. Unlike other cheeses that are pressed and aged to form a firm texture, mozzarella undergoes a special kneading and stretching process. Once mozzarella reaches the desired stretchiness, the cheese is formed into small balls, large blocks, or long strands, depending on the intended use. An important step in this process is immersing the cheese in cold water or brine to set the shape, stabilize the structure, and extend its shelf life. So, we've explored together the modern factories where cheese is produced through a meticulous process, blending advanced technology with traditional expertise to create unique flavors loved all around the world. Now let's find out the most important ingredient of cheese: dairy milk. Hello friends, picture this. A peaceful morning on a dairy farm in the heartland of America. The sun is just starting to peek over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the rolling fields, and the sound of cows mooing softly in the distance can be heard. Somewhere a farmer is sipping coffee, gearing up for another day of what I can only assume is one of the most utterly demanding jobs in the world: harvesting milk from cows. Yes, you read that right, harvesting milk. Because, as much as it might seem like magic when you grab a carton of milk from the grocery store, there's a whole lot of science, sweat, and very precise cow choreography that goes into getting that milk from the farm to your fridge. In 2023, American dairy farmers produced an astounding 102 million tons of milk. That's a lot of moo juice. But how exactly does this happen? Is there a secret cow whisperer involved, or maybe even a cow gym where they work out their udders for maximum milk production? Spoiler alert, it's a lot more technical than that, but still just as fascinating. So grab a glass of cold milk, and let's dive into the modern marvel that is the American dairy farm. Early dairy farming was pretty basic. People milked cows by hand, and milk was consumed raw. Pasteurization hadn't been invented yet, so people just crossed their fingers and hoped for the best. Fast forward to the 1600s, when European settlers brought dairy cows to North America. These cows provided milk for small farming communities, and dairy farming began to take root in the New World. In the 1800s, as cities grew and industrialization took off, the demand for milk skyrocketed. However, transporting fresh milk from rural farms to urban centers was tricky, and spoilage was a common issue. Enter Louis Pasteur, the French scientist who, in the 1860s, developed the process pasteurization, which involves heating milk to kill harmful bacteria. This innovation revolutionized the milk industry, making it safer to consume and easier to transport. By the 20th century, dairy farming had become a major industry in the U.S. The introduction of refrigeration, along with advancements in transportation, allowed milk to be distributed across the country. Today, the U.S. is one of the largest milk producers in the world, and dairy farmers have embraced cutting-edge technology to milk more cows more efficiently than ever before. Back to the present, the dairy industry has changed a lot. First things first, let's talk about the stars of this dairy drama. The cows. Not just any cows, mind you. Dairy farms use specific breeds of cows that are known for their milk-producing prowess. The most popular breed in the U.S. is the Holstein, recognizable by its black and white patches that make it look like it just walked off the set of a children's cartoon. These cows are milk-making machines, producing an average of 6 to 7 gallons of milk a day. That's enough to fill around 112 glasses of milk, if you're keeping count. But these cows don't just magically produce milk on their own. They need to be cared for, well-fed, and most importantly, they need to become mothers first. Like most mammals, a cow produces milk only after giving birth to a calf. Once a cow has calved, she enters the milking rotation, and that's when the magic happens. It's milking time. Gone are the days of sitting on a little stool and milking a cow by hand, though, let's be honest, there's something charming about that image. On modern dairy farms, the process is far more streamlined and, well, industrial. The cows are brought into what's called a milking parlor, which sounds way fancier than it is. It's not a fancy parlor with velvet curtains and chandeliers, but rather a super efficient setup where cows can be milked quickly and comfortably. Here's the breakdown of what happens in the milking parlor. Before the milking begins, the cow's udders are cleaned and sanitized. You wouldn't want to drink milk that's been sloshed around in dirt, right? The udders are also given a quick massage, which stimulates milk flow. Yes, cows get massages. Try not to be jealous. Once the cow is prepped, a machine attaches suction cups to the cow's teats. These suction cups gently draw the milk from the cow's udder through tubes and into a collection system. Milk flows through a series of pipes and into a large refrigerated storage tank. This milk is then kept cool until it's ready to be transported to a processing plant. Fun fact, the milk never touches human hands during this whole process, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. Some farms are even high-tech enough to use robotic milking machines. These robots let the cows decide when they want to be milked, and the cows can stroll up to the machine whenever they're feeling the need for a little relief. The machine identifies each cow by a sensor attached to her collar and goes to work. After the milking session is over, the cows are sent back out to pasture or into comfortable barns where they can relax, eat, and chew their cud, which is cow speak for re-chewing their food. Cows need to eat a lot to keep up with their milk production, so their diet is carefully monitored. They're fed a mix of hay, silage, which is basically fermented grass, grains, and other nutrients to make sure they stay healthy and strong. and then the cycle repeats. The cows are typically milked 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the farm. Between each session, they're living their best cow lives, grazing, napping, and occasionally plotting to escape. Okay, maybe not the last part, but cows are smarter than we give them credit for. After the milk is collected, it's far from over. The milk needs to be processed before it can hit the shelves of your local grocery store. Here's what happens next. First, the milk is transported from the farm to a processing plant in large, insulated tanker trucks. These trucks are like giant thermoses, keeping the milk cool to prevent spoilage. At the processing plant, the milk goes through pasteurization, a process that heats the milk to a specific temperature to kill any harmful bacteria. This ensures that when you chug a glass of milk, you're not also chugging a cocktail of germs. Next, the milk is homogenized. This is a fancy way of saying that the fat in the milk is broken down so it doesn't separate and form a layer of cream on top. Though let's be real, some people love that old school cream on top milk. Finally, the milk is bottled, packaged, and shipped out to stores. And voila! That gallon of milk you grabbed from the fridge section at your local supermarket started its journey in a cow's udder just a few days ago. Milk is big business in America. In fact, the dairy industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, contributing significantly to the economy. Dairy farms provide jobs, not only for the farmers themselves, but also for the workers who help with everything from feeding the cows to maintaining equipment. Then there are the truck drivers, plant workers, and grocery store employees who all play a part in getting milk to your table. But the economic impact of dairy doesn't stop at just milk. There's a whole world of dairy products out there. Cheese, butter, yogurt, ice cream that Americans consume with gusto. Cheese alone is a $45 billion industry in the US. And let's not even get started on how much ice cream Americans eat every year. Spoiler, it's a lot. Dairy farms are also vital to rural economies. Many of these farms are family-owned and have been passed down through generations. In a lot of small towns, the dairy farm is the backbone of the local economy, providing jobs and supporting other businesses. Milk is more than just a beverage in America. It's a cultural icon. Milk has long been a symbol of wholesomeness and health. It's the stuff of childhood memories, the thing you pour over your cereal, and the key ingredient in a comforting glass of chocolate milk after a long day. Milk is also tied to some very specific American traditions. Take, for instance, milk and cookies. Whether it's leaving out a plate for Santa on Christmas Eve or just indulging in a snack after school, there's something quintessentially American about dunking a cookie into a glass of cold milk. Then there's the milkshake, a symbol of 1950s diners and teenage rebellion. You can't picture classic Americana without imagining a group of kids in a booth, sipping on milkshakes with whipped cream and cherries on top. So there you have it, the journey of milk from the udder to your kitchen and all the ways it impacts both the economy and culture. Harvesting 102 million tons of milk a year is no small feat, and it's a process that involves a lot more than just a cow and a bucket. It's a testament to modern technology, hard work, and, let's face it, a little bit of cow magic. The next time you pour yourself a glass of milk, take a moment to think about the incredible journey that milk has taken to get to you. It's a process that involves farmers, cows, machines, and a whole lot of dedication. And while it might seem like just a simple drink, milk is so much more than that. It's a symbol of hard work, tradition, and yes, a little bit of fun. So here's to the humble cow, the hard-working farmer, and the glass of milk that brings it all together. Cheers! Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go live. Goodbye. How long has it been since you last enjoyed this deliciously crispy lamb? Doesn't it look tempting? Did you know that the global sheep population is estimated at about 1.2 billion, which is even more than the population of the world's most populous country? In the United States alone, there are over 100,000 sheep farms with a population of about 5 million sheep. The sheep farming industry contributes about $500 million to the U.S. economy, with 80% of the sheep raised on a large scale in states like Texas, California, and Colorado. Today, we're going to explore an interesting story and the baba from the sheep industry. Home to flocks of sheep with sleek white wool, waiting for shearing day to create cozy woolen sweaters and delicious lamb cuts. Let's get started. The majority of sheep are raised for meat, with about 17% of sheep being raised for their wool. Meat breeds like Dorper and Suffolk are ready for slaughter in just 6 to 9 months, weighing an average of 80 to 120 pounds. Large farms may own between 25,000 and 54,000 sheep, while smaller farms typically range from 5,000 to 11,000 sheep. In the United States, about 1.7 million lambs are born each year, with 37% of them born in Texas and California. A lamb is born after 5 months in its mother's womb. Each ewe typically gives birth to 2 to 3 lambs. The main breeding season is from March to April, which is the busiest season on sheep farms. Farmers must monitor closely to ensure the birthing process goes smoothly. After birth, lambs are carefully tended to along with their mothers. In the first week, lambs primarily feed on their mother's milk. However, after about 2 to 3 weeks, they begin to nibble on small amounts of solid food, such as grass or supplementary feed, though mother's milk remains their main source of nutrition. Lambs are weaned at around 2 to 3 months of age, after which they are moved to a separate area to continue growing. Separating the young lambs helps the mothers recover quickly and assists the lambs in building their immune systems. Lambs are often docked, tail cut short, when they are very young, usually within the first week after birth, to prevent fly strike and parasitic attacks. This practice helps maintain hygiene and avoid health issues such as infections caused by flies. After about 6 to 8 weeks, when their digestive systems have developed enough to digest grass and other solid foods beyond mother's milk, lambs are usually released into larger grassy fields for free grazing. This helps the flock become accustomed to their main diet of grass and adapt to the natural environment. The sheep spend most of their day out in the pasture, gathering back to the barn only as it gets dark. Managing sheep on large fields requires the help of sheepdogs. These dogs naturally possess the ability to control and manage the flock quickly and effectively. They assist farmers in moving the sheep from one pasture to another or back into the barn in an orderly manner without much human intervention. One of the most crucial roles of sheepdogs is to protect the flock from predators, such as foxes, wolves, or other wild animals. They are highly vigilant and can detect threats from afar, quickly acting to safeguard the flock. The presence of sheepdogs also significantly reduces the risk of attacks by wild predators. Besides grazing in traditional pastures, farmers also integrate sheep farming with solar energy farms. Sheep can graze under solar panels, helping to keep the grass short without the need for mowing equipment, thus reducing maintenance costs. Adult sheep primarily eat fresh grass, hay, and grains. Farmers need to provide sufficient food, water, and maintain clean living conditions to prevent diseases. Adult sheep also require regular vaccinations to prevent common illnesses. An adult flock consumes about 3% of their body weight in food each day, and they are carefully nurtured nutritionally to achieve high productivity. The thick wool of sheep can trap a lot of dirt and parasites that cause diseases. Typically, sheep are bathed before shearing and might also be bathed if the farmer notices any signs of distress or unusual behavior. Farmers use specialized equipment for bathing the flock. This equipment usually operates on the principle of immersing the sheep fully in a bath containing a solution, including parasite-killing medications. The solution in the machine contains specific medications to treat parasites like ticks, fleas, or other dermatological conditions. Sheep are gently led into the machine. Systems are in place to guide the sheep into the solution bath without causing them stress. The sheep are fully immersed in the solution to ensure the medication covers their entire body. After the bath, sheep are led out of the bath to air dry naturally. Sheep are sheared once a year, usually in late spring or early summer. Modern shearing machines make this process quick and painless for the sheep. Shearing at the right time helps the sheep stay cool and reduces the risk of fly strike. After shearing, the wool is collected in large sheets for processing. Shearing also requires the skill of the shearer. In New Zealand, the Golden Shears competition showcases the art of shearing among craftsmen. Some shearers can shear over 700 sheep in a day, averaging almost one sheep in less than a minute. After raising the sheep for about 6 to 8 months, farmers begin to send their first batches of sheep for meat. Each sheep, weighing an average of 100 pounds, is priced between $200 and $300, depending on the market conditions. These sheep are then transported to meat processing plants. The slaughtering process adheres to strict food safety standards to ensure the quality of the meat. Apart from meat, sheep wool also holds significant economic value. After shearing, the wool is rolled into large bundles and transported to processing plants. Upon arrival at the plant, the first step is to sort the wool. Wool is categorized based on quality, the fineness, length, and curliness of the fibers. Origin: wool from different parts of the sheep's body varies in quality. For example, wool from the back and sides is typically of higher quality than that from the legs or belly. During this process, any low-quality wool or wool contaminated with impurities, such as grass or dirt, is discarded. Raw wool contains many impurities like lanolin, natural sheep oil, dirt, grass, feces, and other particles. To remove these contaminants, the wool is soaked and washed in hot water baths using mild detergents or soaps. After the wool is thoroughly washed, it is dried in large industrial dryers. This process is gentle to prevent damage to the natural structure of the wool fibers. Once dry, the wool undergoes carding and teasing, which are crucial steps to align the fibers in the same direction and remove any tangles. Carding machines use rollers equipped with spikes to elongate and evenly brush the wool fibers, straightening them and separating the smaller fibers. The result is a long, smooth wool strand, known as a sliver. For fine wool or wool used for high-quality products, the process may include an additional combing step to remove short fibers and create more uniform threads. Afterward, the fibers are wound into wool rovings, ready for the next spinning or weaving process. Wool can be dyed at various stages, but typically the yarn is dyed after spinning. This process uses natural or synthetic dyes with modern dyeing technology, ensuring that the wool retains color well and evenly. Wool can be dyed according to the requirements of textile manufacturers, ranging from natural hues to vibrant fashion colors. Throughout the production process, quality control steps are taken to ensure that the wool fibers meet standards for fineness, durability, color, and structure. In addition to meat and wool, some sheep breeds like Awassi and East Frisian are raised for their milk, which is highly nutritious and used to produce famous dairy products, such as French Roquefort cheese. A dairy sheep can produce between 1 to 2 liters of milk per day, depending on the breed and the care it receives. Milking can be done by hand or by machine. Sheep milking machines are designed to be gentle and efficient, harvesting milk without harming the sheep. After harvesting, sheep milk is brought into the factory and bottled on an assembly line. Sheep milk is rich in nutrients, containing high levels of protein, vitamins, and minerals that support muscle, bone, and nervous system development. Additionally, it boosts the immune system due to its high zinc and vitamin A content. Pork. It's the meat that finds its way onto our breakfast plates as crispy bacon, into our sandwiches as savory ham, and onto our dinner tables as juicy pork chops. But have you ever wondered how America manages to churn out a staggering 12.5 million tons of pork each year? That's like trying to picture 100,000 blue whales made entirely of delicious, succulent pork. It's quite the meaty adventure, and American farmers are the tireless heroes behind it. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating and sometimes downright funny world of pork production and what happens after those pigs leave the farm. Before we get to the harvesting part, we need to start at the very beginning, the farms. American pig farming isn't just a few pigs wallowing in the mud like we see in cartoons. It's high-tech, scientifically managed, and all about efficiency. Pigs start their lives on breeding farms. Picture this: a bunch of sows, mama pigs, being pampered with a perfect diet and a comfy environment to make sure they're in prime shape for producing the next generation of piglets. In a typical year, a sow can give birth to around 20 to 25 piglets. Now multiply that by thousands of farms, and you begin to see how things scale up. Once those piglets are born, they're kept with their mothers for about 3 to 4 weeks, nursing and getting all plump and adorable. But farm life isn't all belly rubs and treats. Once they're old enough, these piglets are weaned and moved into specialized growing areas, where they'll spend the next several months eating, playing, and growing up until they reach their target weight. Here's a fun fact: pigs grow fast. By the time they're ready for market, most pigs weigh around 280 pounds. That's heavier than your average American football player. Talk about some serious pig power. Now, we come to the part where pigs transition from being oinkers to becoming the beloved pork products we know and love. The harvesting process starts at large-scale slaughterhouses and processing plants dotted across the country. These facilities are designed to handle thousands of pigs a day, and let me tell you, the process is as efficient as a pork-powered machine. The pork production process begins with humane slaughter, ensuring that pigs experience minimal stress, which is crucial for both the well-being of the animals and the quality of the meat. Once this step is completed, the carcasses are swiftly cleaned and inspected to meet health and safety standards. After that, the pigs are broken down into various cuts, each with its own culinary use. These cuts include popular options like ribs, loins, shoulders, and of course, bacon, the undeniable favorite in the world of pork products. Bacon has earned its reputation as the most beloved cut, whether it's enjoyed at breakfast or added to other dishes for extra flavor. What makes pork production truly remarkable is the efficiency in utilizing every part of the pig. In this process, nothing goes to waste. Even the lesser-known parts, such as the snout, trotters, pig feet, and offal, internal organs, are transformed into valuable products. While these cuts may not be as common in some American kitchens, they are integral to traditional sausages and other specialty items. For instance, many sausages rely on these cuts to achieve their distinct textures and flavors. Additionally, pork cuts that are less popular in the US are often exported to other countries where they are considered delicacies. In many parts of the world, ingredients like trotters and offal are staples in traditional cuisines, making American pork a highly sought-after commodity on the global market. This practice of utilizing the whole pig not only reduces waste, but also ensures that the pork industry can cater to a wide range of culinary traditions and preferences, both domestically and internationally. Once the pork is processed and neatly packaged, it's off to the races, literally. Pork products need to be quickly distributed across the US and around the world. In America alone, pork is a staple in supermarkets, restaurants, and fast food joints. If you've ever ordered a pulled pork sandwich at a barbecue joint or picked up a pack of sausages for a weekend grill out, you've contributed to this massive pork supply chain. The distribution process is a logistical marvel. Trucks loaded with refrigerated pork cuts zip across highways, delivering fresh meat to every corner of the country. Meanwhile, international buyers eagerly await their shipments, as American pork is one of the most sought-after exports globally. But what happens after the pork hits the market? This is where the culinary magic comes in. Pork is woven into the very fabric of American cuisine. Let's start with breakfast, where pork takes on its crispy, smoky form as bacon. Bacon has become more than just a breakfast food. It's a cultural icon, showing up in everything from burgers to milkshakes. Yes, bacon milkshakes exist, and they're oddly popular. Then there's the barbecue scene. In America, barbecue is serious business, and pork is the star of the show. Whether it's Carolina-style pulled pork slathered in vinegar-based sauce, or Memphis-style ribs coated in a dry rub, pork has a way of turning any outdoor gathering into a feast. Ham, of course, is the go-to choice for holiday meals. Whether it's glazed with honey or studded with cloves, ham takes center stage at Christmas and Easter dinners, bringing families together for a hearty feast. In terms of versatility, pork is unmatched. It shows up in tacos, stir-fries, stews, and countless other dishes, making it one of the most popular meats in the American diet. Now, let's talk numbers. The pork industry in America is a major contributor to the economy. In fact, the US is the world's third largest producer of pork, with pork production contributing billions of dollars annually to the economy. Thousands of farmers, factory workers, truck drivers, and butchers rely on pork for their livelihood. Beyond the farms, the industry supports a vast network of jobs, including feed production, veterinary services, and marketing. Exports are also a huge part of the equation. American pork is shipped to over 100 countries worldwide, with major buyers including Mexico, Japan, and China. These exports bring in billions of dollars, helping to stabilize the American agricultural sector and keeping the global demand for pork high. Beyond the numbers and the meals, pork has a cultural significance in the U.S. that can't be ignored. For many families, pork is synonymous with tradition. Whether it's the smell of bacon on a Sunday morning or a backyard barbecue with friends, pork is the food that brings people together. In some regions, pork is more than just food, it's a way of life. In the southern U.S., for example, barbecue competitions are a fiercely competitive sport, with teams spending days perfecting their pork recipes to win coveted titles. Let's sprinkle in a few fun facts, because who doesn't love learning random bits of trivia? Did you know that pigs are actually quite intelligent animals? In fact, they rank as the fourth most intelligent animal, right behind humans, primates, and dolphins. Maybe that's why they're so good at finding truffles. Another fun fact, the average American eats about 50 pounds of pork per year. That's enough to build a giant tower of bacon. And speaking of bacon, did you know there's a National Bacon Day? It's celebrated every year on December 30th. Mark your calendars. Oh, and here's one for the weird file. In ancient China, pigs were considered a symbol of wealth, and families would often keep a live pig in their home to show off their riches. While this tradition has faded over time, pork remains a symbol of prosperity in many cultures today. In the end, pork is more than just a food. It's an industry, a tradition, and a beloved part of American culture. From the farms where piglets are born to the dinner plates where pork chops are served, the journey of pork is one that involves hard work, ingenuity, and a little bit of humor. After all, how else could we explain the fact that America produces 12.5 million tons of pork each year? So next time you bite into that crispy piece of bacon or slather barbecue sauce on a pulled pork sandwich, take a moment to appreciate the journey that pork took to get there. It's a journey that starts on American farms and ends with a full belly, and maybe even a smile. In the world of poultry processing, speed is everything, and it's no surprise. Demand for chicken meat keeps growing, and customers want it fresh and affordable. Thanks to advancements in automation, chicken processing has become lightning fast, allowing factories to keep up with rising demand without sacrificing quality. So these days we have automated plucking machines, automated evisceration systems, automated deboning and cutting, and so on. They all play a significant role in chicken meat processing. In food processing, nothing is more important than safety. Chicken meat is particularly prone to contamination if not handled carefully, which is why hygiene standards in poultry plants are incredibly high. One of the greatest benefits of automation is its impact on food safety. With fewer human hands touching the meat, the risk of contamination decreases, leading to safer products for consumers. One of the major sources of contamination in food processing is human contact. No matter how careful people are, there's always a risk that bacteria from hands, clothing, or equipment could transfer to the meat. Automated machinery reduces this risk by minimizing human involvement in each step of the process. By allowing machines to handle tasks like plucking, evisceration, and deboning, factories create a much safer environment for food production. Keeping a chicken processing plant clean is no small feat. With modern technology, automated cleaning systems have become an integral part of the plant's daily operations. These systems can sanitize equipment and workspaces between processing cycles, ensuring that every step is as clean as possible. Automated cleaning saves time and allows workers to focus on operating machinery instead of scrubbing down equipment. Another impressive feature of modern poultry processing technology is the ability to detect contaminants. Some systems use scanners and sensors to check for foreign materials or abnormalities in the meat, instantly sorting out any pieces that don't meet quality standards. This technology ensures that only the highest quality chicken reaches the consumer, reducing the risk of contamination or spoilage. When it comes to food production, consistency is key. Customers want each piece of chicken to be just as good as the last, whether they're buying a whole bird or pre-cut pieces. Automated machinery offers an unparalleled level of precision, ensuring that every piece of chicken is processed and cut to the exact specifications. Thanks to automated slicers and dicers, factories can create uniform cuts that are perfectly portioned. This level of consistency is nearly impossible to achieve by hand, especially at the speed required in a modern processing plant. Machines ensure that each chicken is divided into thighs, wings, breasts, and drumsticks, with identical sizes and weights, which makes packaging easier and gives consumers exactly what they expect. Modern technology also helps maintain quality control across all steps of the process. With machines handling most of the labor, there's less room for error, which leads to a more consistent product. Many plants now use AI-based systems that scan each chicken for quality and appearance, rejecting any that don't meet strict standards. This ensures that every package of chicken meets the same level of quality, whether it's the first or 1,000th bird processed that day. Precision machinery helps reduce waste by ensuring that every part of the chicken is used. Automated machines can be programmed to process chicken parts in a way that maximizes usable meat, reducing the amount of waste generated. This also means that factories can get more product out of each chicken, leading to higher yields and lower costs. Chicken processing has historically been tough on workers, with long hours, repetitive tasks, and plenty of unpleasant jobs. Modern machinery is changing that by making the process safer and less demanding on human labor. Automation not only makes work environments safer, but also offers new job opportunities in technical fields. Automation eliminates many of the repetitive and physically demanding tasks that used to be done by hand. For example, automated pluckers and deboners handle jobs that would otherwise require a lot of arm strength and precision. By reducing the need for manual labor, factories create a healthier workplace where workers are less prone to injuries from repetitive motions or heavy lifting. Chicken processing can be hazardous, with sharp tools, heavy machinery, and cold temperatures adding to the risks. Automation helps to minimize these hazards by allowing machines to handle the most dangerous tasks. Workers now spend less time in close contact with sharp blades or heavy equipment, reducing the chances of accidents. Factories also benefit because they have fewer injury-related costs and a safer overall work environment. With the rise of automation, factories need workers who can operate, maintain, and repair high-tech machines. This creates new job opportunities for technically skilled workers, opening up a career path in machine operation and maintenance. These roles are typically safer, less physically demanding, and higher paying, giving workers more career growth opportunities. Beyond speed and safety, automated machinery also has significant economic and environmental benefits. From cost savings to resource efficiency, modern technology is helping the chicken industry meet global demand while keeping sustainability in mind. While the initial investment in automated machinery can be high, the long-term cost savings are substantial. Machines operate faster and more efficiently than manual labor, allowing factories to process more chickens in less time. This leads to lower labor costs and higher production rates, which ultimately result in more affordable chicken for consumers. Factories also benefit from lower operating costs, as automated systems are designed to maximize output while minimizing waste. Many of today's machines are built with energy efficiency in mind. Modern processing equipment uses less water and electricity, reducing the plant's environmental footprint. Additionally, automated systems can often recycle water and other resources, further lowering waste. As sustainability becomes more important, energy-efficient technology helps chicken factories reduce their impact on the environment. Automation systems often come with data-gathering tools that provide valuable insights into the production process. By analyzing this data, factories can optimize resource use, reduce waste, and streamline their operations. For example, data analysis might reveal ways to cut down on water use or adjust machine settings to increase output. This data-driven approach allows plants to operate at peak efficiency while keeping environmental impact to a minimum. Investing in machinery might seem like a big expense for small factories, but it's often well worth it. Modern machines improve efficiency, reduce waste, and enhance hygiene. Not to mention, they save labor costs. As demand for chicken products grows globally, these smaller plants can now keep up, tapping into a market that was once out of reach. Past, chicken processing was a grueling, labor-intensive industry with numerous challenges. Today, thanks to modern technology and automated machinery, the landscape has changed dramatically. Automation has improved every aspect of the process, from speed and hygiene to safety and environmental sustainability. By investing in high-tech equipment, chicken factories are able to produce affordable, high-quality products that meet the demands of consumers around the world. As technology continues to evolve, the future looks even brighter for poultry processing. Advanced AI, robotics, and data analysis will likely bring further improvements, creating an industry that is faster, safer, and more efficient than ever. So next time you pick up a pack of chicken from the store, you can thank modern machinery for making it all possible, without a single feather in sight. So that's the story about chicken meat processing. Hope you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go live. Goodbye.